Podcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Warning. The following podcast may occasionally contain strong language and material that is not suitable for all ages. If you are easily offended, it is highly advised that you turn back now. However, if you're a degenerate, welcome, brethren. You've found your home.
It's the Crime Diner Podcast with your hosts, Nidia Apollonia, Dana Levin, and featuring Cindy Torres, with musical guests Ashton the Cat and Cynthia's Stomach Noises. It's the Crime Diner Podcast. We're a podcast of true crime, cults, mysteries, and general creepiness. We do this within a Dinner with Friends theme. I'm Nidia.
I'm Dana.
And I'm Cindy.
Last week on the Crime Diner, I discussed everyone's favorite television show, The Golden Girls, and how criminally good that show was.
Criminally good.
Criminally good.
Insane.
Yes. So good.
So good. This week, I'm going to tell you a bizarre story.
Oh.
Bizarre.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's
Is that all you're giving me?
Bonkers.
Okay, all right.
That it involves a small Tennessee town, a group of friends, the CIA, and Facebook.
Oh. All right.
But first, the food. Let us pray. Bless us, O patrons, for these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy donations through Patreon every month, under the power of the V Podcast.
Cult.
Chicken Alfredo?
No,
What's that thing? What's that? What is it?
it's just a garlic bread.
Garlic
Oh my
bread.
God.
Garlic stick, more like
A
it.
garlic stick. It does not look like garlic bread or a garlic stick. What is it? Tell me more.
It's chicken Tetrazini.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
I've never had it, but it sounds delicious.
I've only had turkey tetrazzini, and I've made it after Thanksgiving, with Thanksgiving leftovers. I've made it. So I've never had it with chicken, but I do like it.
This is chicken Tetrazini, and then I took a pizza dough, flattened it out.
Okay,
and
that makes more sense.
It sounds
that.
geometric, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Look at it.
All right. Well, it's going to go into my stomach like Tetris style.
Yes. So what do you think about chicken tetrazzini? Are you a fan?
God, yes, I'm a fan. That was so cheesy and tasty and and it had mushrooms in it. And I'm here for mushrooms.
We're big fans. Big fans.
Huge fan.
I loved it. I loved it. Chicken all shredded up. It was delicious.
So much cheese.
I'm going to definitely have some of that for lunch later tomorrow.
I
Whenever.
might fight you for it.
There's not going to be enough for you, I don't think.
There better be.
I don't think so. What'd you think of the garlic bread?
It's so nice. I had it twice.
You had it twice? Yeah, It had little crystallized salt on top.
Oh.
Did you mush it out with your fingers? Because you could see
Absolutely.
the little fingerprints in it.
So much of Cindy's skin cells and DNA went into my mouth.
We've eaten a lot of Cindy, certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dinner was great. Now, you hate the wine.
I hate the wine so much that
You've had it twice.
sipping on it, and this is like my third glass.
What is this wine, anyway?
It's called Waltz Vineyards Stiegel Rose. It's a 20.
It's a rosé.
20. Oh, that's right, rosé. Rose. I took wine classes, by the way.
I'm sure you did great.
Graduated top of my class.
Yeah. You don't like the rosé?
I'm not a fan of rosé. Tastes a little tart.
It's a little tart. I do like a rosé. I think it's fine. It's just fine.
Yeah.
I could take it or leave it. I could probably drink this whole bottle and be like, yes, this is fine.
And
you're gonna, yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not my favorite, but it's not like I'm gonna do a spit take.
Right.
But it's very tart, which I don't love.
I wouldn't say very tart.
Well, my thing is, I didn't like it paired with the pasta, but I like it on its own.
By itself.
It's okay on its own.
Well, I'm a 5-year-old, so I don't like anything paired with my food. I
Right.
really hate to drink alcohol when I eat my food because it just messes up the taste. I don't like. My palate is not sophisticated enough. I just don't like it.
Sorry.
So for me,
sorry about it.
Sorry about it. All right, fine. So for me, it was fine. Yeah, it's just fine.
Good.
Yeah, Waltz Vineyard.
It's just fine.
What was the theme that you?
Okay, so Nydia story surrounds Facebook.
Okay.
So one of the options that you have is to save your videos on Facebook or save posts on Facebook.
Right.
One of the things I have been doing for a long time is saving different recipes. And this was just my moment to be like, yes, all the recipes are going to come right from the saved recipes saved in that Facebook.
Okay. So from your
Stash.
archives.
Yes.
All right.
I was hoping for that, honestly, because this story also takes place in Tennessee, and I could have told her that, but I went with the Facebook thing because I was like, okay, she's probably doing what everybody else is doing, and that's saving Facebook
Yeah,
recipes.
I must have 100.
Yeah, that you'll never make.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. When you were just saying that, I'm like, I wonder what recipes I have saved in there. Because I know everybody always sends me like, you know, cheesecake things, strawberry stuffed things, you know, what, like just the things I've made over the years that people want to, ham and cheese with the Hawaiian rolls, like how to make the whole thing at once, you know, all that kind of shit. So
Yeah, I've actually made stuff, but this was like a good reason to go in and just make something.
yeah.
You know, out there in the social media universe, there's a version of ourselves that we think will someday become. And we save all these things that we think, oh, yeah, no, someday I'll be this person that makes this. You know what I mean? And like, I like to think that James Webb telescope catches a galaxy where we exist as that version of our social media version. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the things that I have saved on Pinterest.
Pinterest specifically, yeah. I mean, I don't even really go on Pinterest that much anymore, but when Pinterest first came out, I mean, I was on that shit all fucking day. I mean, for hours. Like, I remember, especially because at that time I was, like, particularly obsessed with Harry Potter. So I was, like, fucking Harry Potter memes and, like, theories and all of this shit. And, like, you know, I was, like, very obsessed.
Yeah.
And I think I had just bought my house at the time. And I remember, like, I must have just met you because I remember you being like, I guess you like looked at my Pinterest or something. You were like, your like dream house is like very extravagant. I'm like, I know, shut up.
Not because I didn't think you could pull it off, honestly, because my Pinterest persona
Psychotic.
is psychotic.
Yeah. My like burying trampolines so you could just like run and just bounce on them. And like that was like a thing that I definitely was like, oh, when I move into my house, I'm burying my trampoline so that it's like flush with the ground.
Yeah.
And I looked into it. It's a lot of work. Like it would like renting like a backhoe. Like
all of it.
You know what I mean? It was a lot of work.
Yeah. I have saved so many Pinterest workouts.
Oh yeah.
That I never will do.
Oh yeah, diets.
Yeah.
Fucking most of the things I do save are food related, you know?
Yeah.
And I have them all like breakfast is the best meal of the day. The desserts, you know, whatever. I do like try not to do that so much anymore. Now I will tell you this thing that happened when I was dating this girl last year, with the first date that we went on. She had taken a picture, like, oh, let's take a picture of us. Okay. And so then she found me on Pinterest and made a scrapbook, and every date we ever went on, she would put another picture. So like every date is like scrapbooked into Pinterest. I just thought it was really sweet and like very thoughtful.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The fuck?
It was really nice. And I was like, wow, that's like very thoughtful. So like there's this scrapbook of like every date we ever went on in the, you know, year or so that we were dating.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really nice.
That sounds like an advanced form of a human being.
Yeah, she was an advanced form of human being, definitely. Hence the reason it didn't work out.
No, you know, honestly, the things that I save on Pinterest, I do tend to do.
Yeah.
Like the home improvement stuff, I do those.
Yeah.
But the recipes I don't.
I've done a lot off of Pinterest just because it's like a good place to get ideas, you know, like especially decor, like even when you're trying to be like, what color goes with this, you know,
Yes.
just to get like color schemes and shit like that. It's helpful.
I just know Nydia had quite a following on Pinterest.
I did. I was one of the first Pinterest like
An early
people.
adopter?
Yeah, where
Yeah.
you had to like request it from the developers or whatever.
Oh, really?
You had to like send them an email and like
Oh, what the
and they
fuck?
would have to add you. Mhm.
See, before Pinterest, I was on StumbleUpon, which I really loved, which was like sort of like Pinterest. Were you on
Really?
StumbleUpon?
No.
StumbleUpon was different in that, and I was a little like hesitant to get onto Pinterest because I loved StumbleUpon.
Oh my god.
StumbleUpon was like you would just literally go on it. It was sort of the same thing where you would like websites like this, like
Yeah.
so it would sort of generate an algorithm of sorts. But it would literally just flip the page to another website. And, like, sometimes it would be true crime. Sometimes it would be home decor. Sometimes it would be,
shit.
like, it would just be anything. You would literally stumble through the internet.
Right.
And it was really cool. Like, I learned a lot on that website. Like, it was just, like, a little app that I was on. It was a good, cool app. I liked it.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, that was, like, pre-Pinterest. And,
Yeah.
like, I guess you could sort of save things, but it really wasn't, like, quite as organized as Pinterest was.
Yeah.
But this is a story about Facebook.
This is a story about Facebook. Let's have some dessert
Yeah,
and then
'cause
I'll
this-
tell you all about it.
This Pinterest banter is irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Just like the rest of the banter we're going to share with you.
Okay, great.
Oh, it's a bundt cake.
It's a Bundt.
It's a bundt.
It's got cream pouring out
Oh,
of it.
shit.
It is a Twinkie Bundt cake.
Twinkie.
What the fuck?
It's a Twinkie Bundt cake that I would have never made unless I had saved it on Facebook. And Nydia said, I want a Facebook theme. So thus, a Twinkie Bundt cake.
A Twinkie Bundt cake. Interesting. What is the cream made out of? Like, what is it?
Marshmallow cream.
Okay.
I mean, that checks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really remember, like, what the inside of a Twinkie tastes
It's like marshmallow cream and a heavy cream and
Okay.
powdered sugar.
It's a
So
Bundt. Let's
it's
have
a
it.
Bundt.
It's a bundt.
All right.
Yeah.
That Twinkie cake. It was a Twinkie cake, right?
A Twinkie Bundt.
Twinkie Bundt.
Do you love it?
Fucking love it.
It was sweet.
Oh my god. It didn't taste like a Twinkie.
No, it doesn't
Because
taste like a
a
Twinkie.
Twinkie is like a flavorless cake.
It's
with
very, like,
a sweet
airy.
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was a bundt
Yeah.
with a very sweet cream.
Yes.
So
This was much
oh.
denser.
Yes, it was cakey.
Not quite pound cakey, but way more dense than a
yeah,
than
it was
a Twinkie.
sweeter cake too.
I guess a Twinkie is sort of sweet. I haven't had a Twinkie in so many,
I know.
many years.
I know.
Twinkies always remind me of Zombieland. Like every time I think of a Twinkie, I think of Zombieland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which my son and I have probably seen that movie 10,000 times. Like we watched it so many times when he was
Oh
little.
my
It was like one of
God.
our favorite movies to watch together. But I liked it. I thought it was good. I liked the
Yeah.
little powdered sugar on top.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Like Cindy's karaoke. Let's talk about that, shall we?
Maybe not.
You love it. Shut up.
Every year, I make an ass of myself with my karaoke skills. Because you know what? I don't know many songs all the way through. I know their lyric, like their chorus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Barely that sometimes.
right, yeah. Like I'll know the bridge, I'll know the chorus and stuff like that. But Cindy, she went ham this
Cindy
year.
always goes ham. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was significantly a lot.
It seemed like you had a good time.
I had a great time,
Yeah.
and I had the best time because Dana, who never participates in karaoke this year, she participated.
I was feeling myself. I'm trying to do new things.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you did it because you did excellent.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
After you guys left, I stayed for a little while and sang karaoke. It was just like two of us singing. I was like, this is a nightmare. I'm going to go home.
See, I love that for you.
It was like, we sang, what's that song with Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock?
If it
Like,
makes you I know which one you're
yeah,
talking
it's something
about.
like, she's like, you be the guy and I'll be the girl.
Photograph?
A picture, put your picture away. Yeah.
Okay,
So we
yeah.
did that song, which is stupid. It was very dumb, but we had to like tone it down because it was like it was like midnight.
Yes,
It was like,
yeah.
for us, like that's like the party of the summer.
Well, let me paint a picture for you guys. This is an outdoor karaoke night.
Yeah.
This is an outdoor
It's not even
party.
a karaoke night.
Yeah, it's an outdoor party. It's a boat parade. They live right on the water.
It's a Christmas in July thing.
Yeah, and so everybody decorates their boats as Christmas, with Christmas themes.
Yeah.
And we play Christmas music, and it's outdoors. And we're, it's summer. So, and like they're very close to their neighbors, and it's like a lagoon type of situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Where, like,
it's so fun.
The waterways are like if you were in Venice or something, and like, so across
Except it's
from
in New
the
Jersey.
Water, right, across from the water, you have other homes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it's a whole lot of fun.
It's so fun. It's like the party of the summer. Like, it's
Oh my
the
God,
party that
so
we
fun.
all of, like, our friends group goes to.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it's just so fun because all the boats come by and everybody,
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
And we do
Merry
fireworks.
Christmas." Yeah,
So fucking
It's very,
fun.
very fun night. So, but karaoke always happens because they
Yeah.
have everything all set up. Very,
That's right.
And
they're all lesbians.
lots of lesbians.
And
It's a big-
karaoke and lesbians.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Says the straight girl.
I was about to say, I didn't realize that was a thing either.
I know about being gay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're an expert.
I read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always a lot of fun, and I'm always the one that makes an asshole of herself at the karaoke. But this year was Cindy's turn.
Oh gosh, I do not feel like I made an asshole of myself.
You're so shitty.
Cindy had some moonshine, and then she really felt herself and sang a lot.
I don't think she sang close enough to the moonshine for that. I think she was just
No.
really feeling herself.
Yeah, she
I was
really
just, I think the live boat show and live boat
That
report
turned you
I
on?
did
Yeah.
prior to the karaoke was more the moonshine. A lot of MFers were going through.
Oh my God.
And a lot of boat rating went through when the boats were not dressed up as they
Right.
should have. So that went on during the live show.
Oh, wonderful.
Or my live show,
I
anyway.
love that for you. I love that for you.
Cindy's one-man show.
She is a one-man show. Cindy did a lot of karaoke, and listen, that's fine.
I'm pretty sure you did a lot of karaoke, too.
See, the thing with me is that you can't wind me up. Because once I get on stage, I'm like, no, I can't sing. I can't
She was
sing.
doing that the whole night. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't really know any songs.
Exactly. And then once you get me up on stage, you can't get me off. You just can't. So
I know your poor boyfriend was just like, wah, wah, like
yeah.
sitting in the corner. I'm like, poor Russell.
I know. But you know what? I was so glad that you came up and that you sang.
I was less glad about it. But
Shut up.
it
You
was
were
fun.
feeling it. It was fun. It's fun.
I knocked over a bottle of water with my whole ass.
It's fun.
Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed
No,
that.
nobody noticed that.
Because I didn't even
No.
know about that until you just told us.
You literally posted a video of it.
I didn't even pay attention.
Patreon.
Also, if you want to hear all of this or a compilation of the karaoke, at the lowest level, you can hear it all.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Why would you want to do that to yourself? Anywho,
Yeah. There's
laughs.
better ways to spend your money.
I'm honestly.
So, no better ways.
I mean, we would love to quit our jobs and
Yeah.
just do this for you full time, but yeah. Speaking of which, it's podcasting. We just recorded an episode with Dustin Holden of Dustin Can Read and Watch. And I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, go check our episode out on his
His episodes come out
feed.
on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go check him out.
It should be up already. I think you said it was coming out this week. So
He asked us so many pivotal questions.
poignant
just
questions. I mean, life-changing, really thought-provoking questions.
absolutely.
I think you should go check it out because you'll really get to know about us.
exactly. Like, what kind of butter is your favorite?
What kind of fabric is your favorite?
Yeah.
We won't. We're not going to blow the whole load right now. Just go check it out.
We're not going to blow the whole load. But, that's the kind of exciting things that we talk
People
about.
want to know.
honestly.
Yeah, people want to know about it. But I had so much fun on his podcast.
I
And
did, too.
He does voices, and he's just, I mean, it was great. Yeah, it was so fun.
He did a lot of voices.
Yeah, you should check out his podcast if you want to hear about us.
Another thing that you might want to hear about is I know that many of you have heard that we are in the home improvement process of our lives. And Dana just got her fucking kitchen
Can you believe
finished.
it?
It only took 7 months.
Yeah, he texted me today when I was at work and said, "We're just finishing up if we could square up." And I was like, he kept saying he was going to be done Friday, and I was like, fuck off, I'm not. Like,
right, yeah.
Because I have to, like, go take the money out of the bank.
For you before.
Yeah, and I was like, I wasn't going to go take all the money out of the bank
Now
because...
make him wait.
Yeah, I know, I should make him wait.
That's right. 7 months.
Yeah, right, exactly. But, I just was like, holy shit, are you serious? And then I walked in and, like, there's floors, there's countertops, there's appliances. Oh, girl, I cooked a meal. I went to cook, they asked me to bring baked beans to the barbecue.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to make some bacon, and I finally had a stove and the whole bit. And then I promptly burnt the bacon, and I was like, wow, I have not cooked in months. So
You're out of practice.
yeah, so I made a whole meal this weekend, and it's so fucking nice. I have some things to, like, set up and put together, but it'll be nice to get my house
Isn't
back.
it awesome when you have a brand new kitchen and you think you're like a chef?
I mean, like, it really does feel like I'm a chef because the way this kitchen is set up, now there's, like, a window I can, like, look into my living room, and I was, like, cooking last
You're
night.
Benihana.
Yeah, and Gage was, like, talking to me, and I was like, look at us doing a thing here. And he was like, you're the dumbest person I've ever met. I'm like, but it's so fun, right?
Even he's excited about
Yeah,
the
he is
kitchen.
excited.
Yeah.
And nothing really excites him. He's pretty
they're
monotone.
Apathetic teens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing interests them. But then you had your kitchen, and then you had an all-time low. Dana text me and Cindy are on a group chat with Dana, and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And I'm like, what is it now?
Yeah.
Because Dana throws that around a lot. And so she's like, my bathtubs are full of shit.
They were literally filled with shit water. And I was like, I guess the Friday we record on Fridays usually.
Right.
And I was like, the toilet's being funky. I think I plunged it while you guys were here.
You did.
And then, so this would have been, I don't know, Sunday morning. It was Sunday morning. I did a little laundry. I went to, I was walking around cleaning, and I could smell it in the bathroom. I could smell, like, sewage. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
And I opened the shower, and there was just, like, shit water in both of them.
No.
And I immediately started crying. Like, when I was texting you, I was sobbing. I was like, I can't take one more thing. Like, I just can't do it. So I called my dad, and I'm like, there's shit water in the tub. And I was like, he's like, do you want to call a plumber? And I was like, no, I can plunge it myself. And I was trying to plunge it, but you couldn't. I had to go under the
shower. You're trying to plunge
I was trying to plunge a shower, but I have a giant, like, huge snake under my house to, like, snake the drain. Because this has happened before.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just go under there myself and do it. I was just so bummed. And then I went under the house. I didn't even show you a video, but I went under the house, and I guess where the washer was running, water was just pouring. And I was
under
like,
the house?
Yeah. And I was like,
no.
I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. Like, and so I called a plumber, and it was fine. And he just came and not plunged it, but snaked it. And he was like, it only backed up because of this, there's no water coming from anywhere. Don't worry about it. But
did you get the washer pipe fixed?
It wasn't what was happening was where the clog was in the yard.
Yeah.
Everything was backed up. So when I turned the washer on, it was already full to, like, that capacity. So he snaked it both ways.
Okay.
This is very entertaining, I'm sure, for you all to hear about. But basically, it's cleared. We, like, cleared it, and we, like,
what was clogging it?
He said it was a baby wipe, and, like, I have been here for 2 years. I've never used baby wipes. I called my mom, and I was like,
I've seen baby wipes in your bathroom.
What do you mean?
I've seen baby wipes.
I mean, I use wipes to clean but I don't put them in the toilet. I put them in the trash.
But I've seen baby wipes in your bathroom. And
what do you mean?
Like,
what baby wipes?
Baby wipes, like,
no.
Toilet wipe. You've seen them too.
I've seen, like,
she's seen them too.
Not that you wipe your body with, that you put down the toilet.
No, like that you wipe your butt with.
I've never bought them.
Really?
I've never bought them.
I've seen them here. Cindy, have you seen them here too?
If you've seen them here, they're not, I mean, whatever.
She has seen them here too.
If you say so. I know you know my bathroom better than me.
No, That's why I was like, wait a minute, what
I promise you, I've never bought fucking baby wipes before.
Tip, also, for people who don't know, those flushable wipes are not,
They're not flushable.
No, well, so he pulled them out last time, and he was like, are you using baby wipes? I'm like, it's just me here.
Right.
Like, I would know if I was wiping my ass with baby wipes.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, anyway, this is very boring, but...
Well, we got a post in our group from one of our listeners that said, listening to all your home improvement, I have officially been jinxed. And their stove started having chemical smells.
Oh, shit.
And there's like a dip in the glass because it's like one of those glass
Oh, you don't want
stovetops.
that.
Yeah, no, definitely
And
not.
they cannot have somebody out there for at least 4 more days to come check it out.
You know, some of those glass top stoves explode.
I mean, like...
Say that. I'm sure she's panicking enough.
Well, I mean, you can't use it.
No.
She probably just can't use it.
Yeah.
And that's like the problem was like, I mean, when the guy was like, I had called him and I said, is there any way this can be done by my birthday? It's my birthday Sunday. Like, I'm begging you. Like, I don't know what else to say at this point. Like, this has been almost 7 months. Like,
Right.
And he's like, oh, do you want me to like hook up the appliances? And I wanted to be like, what do you mean? Like, was that a possibility this whole time? Like,
Right.
are you fucking with me?
You're talking about the kitchen guy, not the plumber.
Yeah, no, not the plumbing guy. No.
Right.
And I was just like, use your fucking brain for 2 seconds. Like, do you know how much money I'm hemorrhaging, like, eating out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for weeks and weeks on end?
For months. You've been doing it for 7 months.
But I had a stove up until, like,
yeah.
you know, when they pulled everything out, maybe like 2 months ago. But still, 2 months for every meal is,
Right.
like, a lot of money. And that really fucking irked me. I was like, I mean, yeah, kinda. Like, yeah, I would love for you to do that. What? So anyway, I'm sure you guys are fucking tired of hearing it. I am tired of dealing with it. So like when I came in today and the floors were done, I just like, I almost cried. Like I was very excited.
I was so happy for you.
I can't believe it.
Yes.
So there we go. That's that.
Yeah. So now you won't be hearing any more of that. I'm still working on my kitchen, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Anywho, a story for today is the story that I'm about to tell you.
All right.
Did you know that the AIDS pandemic almost wiped out an entire generation of a culture? Did you know that politics drive the way we handle pandemics? Did you know that more people died of smallpox than war-related injuries in the Revolutionary and Civil Wars? Do you have questions about the opioid crisis? How socioeconomics fuel healthcare? Wonder why the cost of drugs is so high? I'm Jackie Moranti, and I host a podcast called Cause of Death. This show explores all of these questions and many more. If you haven't listened to my podcast, you should. Cause of Death can be found wherever you listen to podcasts. Our history is here to teach us lessons, but as you'll find out, we rarely learn our lessons.
I got my stories from 2 books that I read. Murder Thy Neighbor, and I did my home improvement story based on that book too. It's by James Patterson. Fucking love that book. But it's like a 2-part series, right? So it's got the story that I did last time, which was about Ann Hoover and Roy Kirk.
Yeah.
Right? So Ann Hoover and Roy Kirk, and they had this, like, thing with, you know, they each bought a row home.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, it got complicated. But then the other half of that book was Murder IRL.
Yeah.
Murder in Real Life.
Okay.
And he did another case study. I read that book, and I read that book like 8 times. I listened to it.
Why?
Obviously. Well, I do home improvement projects, and I listen to, you know, books, audible books, or podcasts, you know. And then I also read another book called Too Pretty to Live, The Catfishing Murders of East Tennessee. And it's written by the prosecuting attorney, which he was, like, censored by the Supreme Court because he wrote this book before the appeals process was exhausted with this case. And they were like, dude, the fact that you wrote that book could have given them a reason to have an appeal and win that appeal and be out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Right.
So did they put a pause on it until the appeals were over?
No, they kind of like figured out, a way around it or something. But
shit.
he did get censored as a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to begin my story.
Okay.
So Janelle Potter had been living in the small town of Mountain City, Tennessee, now for 5 years, and she still had not met a single friend. She had moved there from Pennsylvania with her strict parents, Barbara and Buddy, to be closer to family. Barbara's mom was an ailing, older lady, and she wanted to be closer to her, to keep an eye on her or whatever. Janelle's parents were super overprotective since Janelle was a delicate child. She was born with health issues. She had a series of health issues for which she took medications, and she was learning disabled. She had an auditory processing disorder and a very low IQ.
Okay.
This made it impossible for her to understand social nuances and tone. So she couldn't understand sarcasm.
Right.
And she couldn't understand, like, if you said, shut up, I'm going to smack you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She would take it literal.
Okay. Yeah.
She didn't drive, and she was also unable to live on her own.
Okay.
She was a 29-year-old, 6 foot tall, baby talking, shut-in with the mental age of a 5th grader. And her only social outlet to peers and, and other people her age was Facebook, MySpace, and a site called Topics.
Okay.
You know what Topics is? So Topics is a site that, from what I gather, because we don't have a Topics in our New Jersey area, but it's like, neighborhood. It's like your local
like
neighborhood.
the neighborhood app or whatever.
Yeah, like the neighborhood app
or
where you share.
Door.
Yeah, next door. Where you share like stories regarding your neighborhood, and like people can communicate on there or whatever. Yeah. So theirs was called Topics, which I was like, I wonder if that's like a Midwest or a South thing.
Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it. So her mom and dad were also kind of off. Her mom was an extremely gullible woman with health issues, and her dad was an ex-Marine who had fought in Vietnam and claimed to have worked with the CIA operatives there.
Oh, good.
To like get the, people that were taken prisoner or whatever.
POWs.
Yeah. He was also disabled after a fall at work left him with a severe back injury and unable to work. He was a very large, imposing man who always carried guns with him, like on both sides of his, yeah. Even when he was eating dinner, gardening, watching TV, just
love that.
Like he would wake up, put the guns in, like pew pew.
He's like, "Where are my keys? Where's my wallet? My 2 guns?"
Yeah, but like, I mean, honestly, like all day long.
Okay.
That's a bit much, right?
I mean, yeah, of course.
So
we don't have any. I don't think I've ever seen someone with a gun like just walking around. So like, yeah, that's a lot for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not in a like open carry state either.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot.
Right. Could
you imagine?
No. What year is this? Oh, it's Facebook time. So
yeah, it's Facebook time. So it's like 2009 through 2012.
Okay.
All right. So that's the timeline that we're dealing with.
Okay.
One day, Janelle went into a pharmacy while her parents waited outside in their car. And while she was in there, a girl named Tracy came over and introduced herself. Tracy knew about Janelle, and she felt sorry for her, so she decided to befriend her.
Okay.
It's a small town, like 2,000 people or whatever. And they all hear that this new family's in town. Their daughter is, around Tracy's age or whatever.
Okay.
And so they've seen the family around, but nobody befriends her.
Okay.
And she's got a low IQ, so they consider her special needs, and so nobody wants to befriend her.
Okay.
But Tracy takes it upon herself to befriend her, right? So she felt sorry for her.
Okay.
Tracy asked Janelle if she would like to hang out sometime, and Janelle was ecstatic.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, she was just like, if she had a tail, she would wag it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She'd
been there 5 years, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like basically a shut-in, you know?
That's really sad, yeah.
Yeah. Her parents didn't let her do anything. It was mostly her parents, you know? Because you have a special needs child and you maybe become a little too overprotective.
Right,
You think that the parents, that the you know, people are going to take advantage of them or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
And so that was the case with the parents. Before they could hang, Tracy had to come and meet Janelle's parents. Like, she had to, like if they were courting, like if Tracy was courting
almost
her.
like she was like a 5th grader. Like
Oh
she
my
was
God, yeah. Like,
treating
I
her
need
like
to meet
she-
who you're going with,
Absolutely.
blah, 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 you know?
Which, like, to a certain extent, I sort of understand if she can't make decisions on her own that are
Right.
necessarily safe. But, yeah.
Right, but
It's
they
still a
went
lot, yeah.
overboard,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And like Buddy, the dad, was like holding a gun the whole time while
Oh,
he was
stop it.
asking, you know, Tracy questions, and it was just like
That's
a
very
lot.
traumatic, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they agreed to let them go to a mall, and so the two girls set off in Tracy's car. But they didn't go to a mall.
Of course not.
Instead, they went to a bar called JT's. And this is where Janelle meets Tracy's other friends, and most importantly, she meets Tracy's older brother, Billy Payne. Janelle instantly fell for Billy, even though Tracy told her he was a man whore. Like, he was not the marrying type,
Yeah.
relationship type. He
Right.
was like fucking
It's a player.
the Jack Ritter of the time.
Oh, wow.
Like, he was just
That was...
a player.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Not
really
Jack Ritter, Larry.
Dated
His friend
yourself
Larry.
there.
Shut up. So, Billy has these deep blue eyes, and he's tall and thin, and Janelle is just like here for all of it.
She loves it.
Loves it. So later that night, Janelle friend requested everyone in the group and stalked their pages, especially Billy's.
Yeah.
Billy and Tracy knew that Janelle was obsessed. So to get her distracted, they decided to introduce her to someone more on Janelle's level.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Is Tracy mean?
No,
Okay.
she's like very sweet.
Okay. She's not like
she
setting
really-
her up or
no,
anything. Okay.
She
all right.
really meant well.
Okay, all
She
right.
really was trying to help her, you know?
Okay, all
she was
right.
this girl. She felt sorry for her.
All right. All right.
And the
I just
whole
didn't want this to
group-
be like some Mean Girls thing.
Honestly, the whole group knew that Janelle had some issues,
Yeah.
and they just wanted her to find her own people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this was innocent. This was innocent.
Okay. All right.
At least on their level. You
Okay.
know what I mean? So they wanted to find someone more on Janelle's level.
Okay.
You know, other than Billy, to like distract her from it.
Okay.
You know? They have this weird cousin, you know, who's also socially kind of inept.
We all got a weird cousin.
Yeah, and also more on Janelle's level. You know, somebody
Yeah.
that would have been perfect for Janelle, actually.
Okay.
You know?
And Janelle's like, nah, I want blue eyes.
Right. Well, his name was Jamie Curd, and that was their cousin.
Okay.
Billy and Tracy's cousin. Jamie was in his late 30s and had never been, like, he was like a never been kissed kind of guy.
Okay.
All right. He was just gonna die a virgin. You know, he was socially awkward, not bright. But he was loyal. He took care of his mom until she died.
Okay.
And he took care of his brother until he passed. And like, you know, he was just a family-oriented guy. The kind of guy that would have been great for Janelle.
Okay.
Because Janelle couldn't live on her own and needed somebody to care for her.
Yeah.
So this Jamie guy was just fucking perfect.
He
for
could have been
her.
good, yeah.
Yeah, he could have been good for her. You know, had her parents been a little looser with her, you know? So Jamie instantly liked Janelle.
Okay.
Like, he was just primed for any girl who would like breathe in his direction.
Absolutely,
he would have
yeah.
fallen in love with,
Yeah.
you know? So he liked Janelle, and Janelle being so touch-starved. Remember when Natalie brought
Yes.
that was from another episode that we did with my daughter where she guest starred.
Yeah.
She was so touch-starved that she liked him back.
Yeah.
You know, she just
Sure.
liked the attention that he was giving her. But she was still pining for someday being with Billy. So Janelle's parents didn't let her date. And especially someone like Jamie, who they felt was smelly and not smart enough. And, you know, they really thought that Janelle could do better than Jamie.
Okay.
But she really, really couldn't, But, being parents, you just always want somebody better for your child.
Yeah.
But Janelle convinced them that Jamie was worthy of trusting when one day their home computer started acting up and she introduced him as one of her friends who was a whiz at computers.
Okay.
See, he liked working on computers and he just taught himself basic, computer repair or whatever.
Okay.
And so he would come over and they would hang out whenever their computer was acting up and they would steal kisses when her parents weren't looking.
Okay.
So eventually, stolen kisses weren't enough for Jamie. And he got Janelle a secret cell phone. Because Janelle this is 2009, you know what I mean? Everybody had a fucking cell phone.
Yeah.
Janelle didn't have a cell phone
Right.
yet. So Janelle didn't even drive. Like, she had like zero independence. She was a complete shut-in.
Yeah.
So now they were able to talk into the wee hours. And Janelle shared many, many intimate pictures with Jamie.
Oh, shit.
Who then transferred them to his email under the super secret file names of First Tits, Wide Open, The Lips, Secret Muff, and Juicy Squirt.
Oh, my God.
These were not sophisticated people.
Oh my God.
Jamie was serious about Janelle, and he loved her so much that he gave her a promise ring.
Okay.
So this goes on. They date under, secret pretenses for about 2 years, right?
Holy shit.
So one day, Janelle, Jamie, and his cousins Tracy and Billy and other friends, they all went out to a barbecue festival in their small town.
Okay.
And a new girl has now joined the group. She was a pretty, thin, 23-year-old brunette by the name of Billie Jean Hayworth. Janelle was instantly jealous, but it wasn't until she saw her love interest, Billy Payne, kissing Billie Jean that she developed a true hate for her.
Uh-oh.
She threw a hissy fit at the barbecue, and Jamie had to take her home.
Oh, shit.
Now, I just want to remind you that Billy and Billy have the same name, but it's Billy Payne, the male in the relationship, the love interest of Janelle, and Billie Jean, his love interest,
right?
Billie Jean Hayworth. All right. So once at home, she quickly got on Facebook and friend requested the new girl.
After she had a hissy fit?
Yes.
Did everybody see her?
No, she was just like, I want to go home,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. But, like, they were starting to, they knew that she was going to overreact about this, So they went, Jamie took her home, and she was just, fucking beside herself. So she friend requests this new girl and all her friends, right? And then she proceeds to say terrible things, posing as other people on the topics site.
Okay.
So she creates these fake names and, Matt, Dan, and and she says, "Oh, this bitch Tracy, she has HIV. She's a
not
whore."
Tracy, Billie Jean.
Billie Jean. Yeah, she has HIV. She's, a whore. She slept with 80% of the population.
Oh my God.
Just terrible things on this topic site. Right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, but not that Janelle. That Janelle, she's so wholesome and she's a good girl. She was raised right. And so it's really easy to see that who really is behind these people, right? So silly. So she does that, and she even steals pictures off of their Facebook site, tags herself on them.
Oh, fuck.
And also says, bad things about them. And then makes the claim that they were the ones that hacked into her Facebook account. You know what I'm saying?
This is so messy.
It's super messy. And also, super childish, because Janelle's in her 30s.
Yeah.
And so, with the exception of Billie Jean, who's 23, everybody's in their, late 20s, early 30s.
But Janelle's the only one acting this way.
She's the only one acting that way. And also she's, mentally disabled.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get it, yeah.
Yeah. So when Tracy, Billy, and Billie Jean see what was written about them, they were shocked. But Tracy reminded them that Janelle had issues and it would all die down as soon as she got distracted. And what's the worst that could happen? You know, because Tracy's still stuck by Janelle.
Okay.
You know? And that was like speaking things into existence. Because as soon as she said, what's the worst that could happen? God said, hold my beer.
Oh, fuck.
The harassment by Janelle continued, and the group naturally barked back. You know what I mean? If you're going to say some shit about me, I'm going to fucking defend myself.
Yeah.
I don't care who the hell you are.
Yeah.
So Janelle, however, was extremely manipulative. And so she convinced her boyfriend, Jamie, that it was the others who were relentlessly harassing her.
Yeah.
So she would use those, you know, moments when they would bark back and say, I'm going to fucking kick your ass, wait till I see you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She would just clip those out, print those emails out, those text messages, whatever the fuck it was, and like show them to Jamie.
Yeah.
You know, she would like hide the ones. And if she was ever discovered and said, oh, you know, you posted this on your Facebook about me, she would say that she was hacked.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So she always had...
She had an answer for everything.
She had an answer for everything, but she was like gaslighting everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So even though she was disabled, she still had that social wherewithal where she could, you know, gaslight people.
Yeah, sure.
You know? She had told Jamie that they had been throwing rocks at her house and messing with their property and threatening Janelle and her family, even to the point where there was a rock that she claimed was thrown at her house. And it had Billy Payne's name on it and Billie Jean, and like almost like if they signed off
like
on the rock.
They signed it and threw it in the...
Yeah. And so they called the police and like... But I'm like...
Were the police like, what the fuck?
The police were always like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But also it's like a small town, so what else do they have to do?
Yeah, right.
So they were threatening Janelle and her family, and I should say parents, because Janelle's older sister was estranged from the family, but I'll touch on that later.
Who are you saying was threatening the family?
This group.
Okay. But they're not really threatening them. Janelle's making it seem like they are. Yeah.
It's all in Janelle's mind.
Okay.
Because remember, Janelle has a auditory processing disorder.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't realize, she takes sarcasm and
or the threats or whatever they are that like...
Yeah, she takes them literally.
Yeah.
You know, and so do her parents.
Okay.
Because her parents were also of low intellect.
Okay.
So these aren't like sophisticated.
So they had a hard
folks.
time like understanding that maybe Janelle's behavior caused a lot of this, or that the things that were happening weren't, you know, when people say that like, oh, I'll beat you up, that like maybe it's just a threat and not a reality.
Exactly. They were gullible and easy to convince.
Okay.
You know, Janelle also had her parents convinced that they had been threatened, and since her parents were already paranoid to begin with, this was all they needed to be set off on a conspiracy theory spiral.
Okay.
They were easily, you know, these were people that, you know, were easily scammed into thinking, and a lot of people are out there thriving, living regular lives, but they're maybe not as sophisticated and, you know, able to discern maybe this is pretend and maybe this is reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So this went on for a while, but then when Billy and Billie Jean announced their engagement and their pregnancy, the final screw holding Janelle's head on straight popped the fuck off. She ramped up the harassment and started claiming that the group was out to kill her. Around this same time, Jamie and Janelle's mom, Barbara, began getting emails from an old friend of Janelle's from high school named Chris.
Okay.
He had attended high school with Janelle and remained watchful over her over the years. The 17 years since they had graduated high school.
Okay.
His job allowed this because he was a CIA agent in charge of monitoring suspicious internet activity. Through this monitoring, you have like this look on your face.
I just can't.
Right. Do you believe this?
No.
Well, Barbara and Jamie.
Right.
bought this 1,000%.
Right.
Okay. So through this monitoring, he became aware that a group of individuals with access to Janelle had a conspiracy to commit murder against not only Janelle, but her parents as well.
So is this Janelle?
Wait, what?
Because, well, I guess my reason to ask that is like, so she's not as inept as she's making it seem, or like that people would believe.
Which is why her sister Chrissy was like, yeah, I can't be party to this.
Yeah. And because that takes, there's something to be said for like not being, like having a processing issue and like, and not understanding sarcasm and like, and I get that.
Right.
But then to have the ability to fake a whole email, like, and create a new,
Let me tell you something about little Janelle. Not so little Janelle, because she was 6 feet tall. Janelle, her sister Chrissy backed out of the family.
Yeah.
Because she was like, you guys are really helicopter parenting Janelle to the point where you're crippling her.
Right.
And making her socially inept. And also she is not as unaware
or
as
hopeless.
You think. Yes, helpless as you make her out to be. She's manipulative and she's manipulating you guys.
Okay.
But in all fairness, Janelle learned that, I believe, from her mother Barbara, who was also very manipulative of their dad, Buddy.
Okay.
And so this is like
it's just a big mess between the three of them.
It's like a big messy family that Chrissy had the wherewithal to separate herself from through years of therapy and
Yeah.
And she just fucking was like, yeah, peace out on this shit. Right?
Yeah.
But Janelle just fed right into it and they fed right into her,
Yeah.
So
it's like the snake eating itself.
Oh yeah. So she has this CIA agent, and he makes them aware that he's, monitoring this online activity, and he says that he spotted a group of individuals that wanted to kill Janelle because she was too pretty.
Okay. All right.
And they were jealous of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
and their parents were like, obviously.
I mean, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah,
look at her. I don't know what she looks like. But.
Their precious 6 foot baby Huey.
Stop
angel.
it, you asshole.
Chris, the CIA agent, had uncovered that Billy was part of a dangerous drug gang in the area that was bigger than MS-13.
I don't know what that is.
MS-13 is like this gang, this like Chicago gang. It's like huge.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the Bloods and the Crips and stuff. All right. And so Chris thought that Janelle was pretty and kind and caring and a good girl. In that order.
Okay.
So Barbara and Jamie ate up every single word that this guy Chris dished out.
Fuck.
Even though his emails had Janelle's email address. Which he explained, and he said that he used her email address as like a decoy, like a dummy address.
Wowza.
But it was literally like Janelle, it's me.com at AOL. And Chris was like saying, oh yeah,
I hacked her email.
I hacked her email so that the CIA, so that nobody uncovers
obviously,
this.
Yeah.
Yes. And they were like, yeah.
And her dad should know because he was in the CIA.
Well, he was right. But he was computer illiterate. So what the mom Barbara would do, she would print out all the emails that this Chris CIA operative would send them. And
how old are they? They must be in their 60s, I guess, right? Yeah. At the time.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah.
Like late 50s, early 60s.
Because that's like, I could see my Nana printing out emails to show me them. Like, I'm like, you could just show me that on your phone, probably.
You don't need to print it out because it's literally there.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing, though. Chris, being in the CIA, which, the Central Intelligence Agency. Intelligence being the operative word, right? did not spell so good.
Uh-huh.
And was very, very in tune with Janelle's deepest thoughts and feelings and, insecurities. And, he was just super in tune with Janelle.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So instead of, Barbara being like, this sounds fishy, she was like, son, you know what? Like, he was...
Like that he loved her or something?
She loved him. She was like, oh my God, I'm here for it. You hate the same people that I hate?
Yeah.
Which her daughter, Chrissy, the oldest, she hated her.
Yeah.
And she hated her own mother because Chrissy and her mom were close,
Yeah.
Because they were sane people. And so she hated those two.
Really?
Yes. And Barbara was just like an evil woman and jealous and just like nasty,
So Janelle wasn't close with her mom?
She was close to her mom, but not her grandma.
Oh, her grandma.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
okay.
her grandma.
Oh, okay.
And her older sister.
Gotcha. Okay.
Obviously,
Okay.
right?
I was confused.
So this guy, Chris, writes these crazy emails for a while.
Okay.
Like just, fucking bizarre emails about how he, uncovered that this is a conspiracy against Janelle and Janelle's so beautiful and perfect and these bitches are just jealous of her.
Okay.
And Barbara is here for all of that.
Yeah.
The emails escalate in violence, and Barbara and Buddy and Jamie are here for all of the shit stirring.
Oh, Jamie too. He's into it.
Yes, because, Chris started emailing Barbara, but he was also emailing Jamie.
Shit.
And saying, hey, Janelle's never loved a man like she loves you. And
Except she's totally losing her shit because this other guy's getting engaged.
Yes, yeah. Also, Janelle at the same time was having an online relationship with a man, like a random guy.
Oh my God.
And they were like telling each other that they were loved, it was love. And he bought her a ring and JCPenney's and sent it to her. But then when he found out about Jamie, he broke up with her. Anyway, it was a whole thing. And it made me realize, this whole thing made me realize that there's a lot of lonely people sitting in their rooms getting catfished.
Oh, yeah. Have you watched Catfish?
No, I tend not to watch stuff like that.
Oh, it's so
it's
good.
so cringy.
We did that one for Patreon.
Yeah, we did.
That was about the Russian brides or the mail order brides.
Oh, the mail order brides?
Yeah.
Or even the Tinder swindler was like, it's really just takes one lonely person to like...
There's many lonely persons out there that, that fall for this all the time, right? So, Jamie was here for it.
Okay.
So much so that when Chris suggests that Buddy and Jamie take care of the threat, meaning kill Billy and Billie Jean, they are here for it all.
Jesus.
Yes. They were completely convinced that these two had to die in order to keep their precious Janelle safe. See, like, Chris of CIA employment had been emailing Barbara, Janelle's mom, and saying that Buddy was going to get reinstated into the CIA and that they had a badge and he didn't know why the badge hadn't been sent to him yet, that it was just all this red tape.
And his buddy standing there in his suit, like, waiting to go.
Oh, just waiting to be reenlisted.
Oh, my God.
Yes, waiting to be called. He even went to the sheriff's office and said that he would be reactivated any day now.
And Buddy was never actually in the CIA, right?
It's unclear whether he was or wasn't.
Bitch, he was definitely not.
Well, back in Pennsylvania, he was prosecuted for federally prosecuted for stolen valor. He claimed that he had all these medals and stuff like that.
Perfect.
And they prosecuted him. I don't know whatever came of it. I don't think anything ever came of it. But he claimed, he later defended himself and said that it was because the U.S. Army wasn't supposed to enter this country where he did these, valor things. And that they had to, brush it under the rug. But that he really did do those things.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but that doesn't make it better. That is not good too.
Right.
That's bad.
These were not mentally well people.
Yeah, gotcha. Our upstairs neighbor, Pennsylvania.
Is it upstairs? No, it's to the next of us.
It's a combination
up and
of
over.
both.
Depends where they were.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were like far Pennsylvania, almost Ohio.
I know exactly where they were. I know exactly where in Pennsylvania.
They were deep Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they were in the sticks
But
of
now they're in
Pennsylvania.
Tennessee. Not much better. That was a lateral move, I think.
At least.
Right. All the Pennsylvania people are shutting
Yeah,
us
we have
off.
high numbers in Pennsylvania, actually. You know we love you guys.
Yeah. So on January 31st, at around 4 a.m.,
Oh, no.
they set off in Buddy's truck to do the deed. They park at a church overlooking the Payne residence, and when they see Senior Payne, Bill Payne Sr., leave for work, they decide to move in closer. Billy and Billie Jean were living with Billy's father at the time, and they had their baby. Their baby was 6 months old at this time.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, the baby's name was Tyler. All right. So the Paynes never left their door closed because the town was small enough where everyone knew each other and they felt safe. Like, this was like a town of like 2,800 people.
Yeah.
You know, small town.
Yeah.
So Buddy and Jamie took advantage of this opportunity and snuck in. While Jamie stood watch at the entrance, Buddy
And this
came
is his
in.
cousin.
This is his fucking cousin.
Yeah.
Buddy came into Billy and Billie Jean's bedroom. Jamie heard Billy say, "What the hell?" And then he heard a gunshot.
Fuck.
And there was screaming and pandemonium and stuff like that. Shortly after, he saw Billie Jean run out of the bedroom holding the baby, the 6-month-old, Tyler, in her arms. She was trying to hide, but he was blocking the door, the exit, the only exit that she had. Jamie was blocking the door. So she went and hid in another room. When Buddy came out, Jamie pointed him in the direction of the terrified mother, and while she held her infant son screaming and pleading for mercy, the cries were silenced as he shot her right under her eye and through her brain.
Ugh.
The two made sure to clean up the crime scene and they left. Later that morning, a friend of the family named Ray and his estranged wife, Linda, came to pick up his mail. Ray and Linda were separated, and he had been crashing at the Payne's house. He'd been couch surfing for a while, and he just happened to land at the Payne house. His mail was being forwarded there, so he was picking it up that morning. This was around 10 o'clock in the morning. He noticed that Billy's car was still there, and this was unusual because he should have been at work by that time. I think Billy's shift started at like 7 a.m.
Okay.
And it's now 10, right? So he goes further in the house to check on them because it was eerily quiet. And he was just like, oh, I don't want to walk in on them having sex or something, you know? So he was just like walking down the hall. He first called out, but he didn't hear anything. So he walks down the hall to look in the bedroom, and he sees Billy laying on his bed in a pool of his own blood with a bullet through his head and a blown out cheek and a slashed throat. So he quickly screamed for his wife, who was still in their truck, to come in and give him CPR and call 911. So while he inspected the rest of the house, she's on the phone with 911. She's trying to give him CPR, but he was already cold and stiff,
dead,
you know? And so she's calling 911. When he's inspecting the rest of the house, he notices that in another room, Billie Jean is on the floor with a bullet through her head. The back of her head is blown out, and she had been holding on to her baby. But the baby, miraculously, she didn't land on the baby. The baby just landed like next to her or whatever. And the baby was still alive, but he had like been all cried out. So, but he was still alive. So he grabs the baby and he waits for police to come. But you can imagine how, like, if she would have landed wrong on the 6-month-old baby, she could have smothered him.
I thought you were going to say she, like, smothered him or something.
No, the baby was on his face, but he was 6 months old, so, you know.
He could turn over, or, like, turn to the side.
but he had been he wasn't even like
he was probably dehydrated and exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. So detectives had no idea who could have done this to the young couple. That is until they saw the bizarre online feud that they had going on with Janelle and her parents. Soon they would uncover all the lies, and manipulation would lead right to Janelle. At first, no one was talking. So they grabbed the weakest link, as you can imagine, which was, who do you think?
The dad.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh, the dad was just fucking stoic. He was a Marine, you know what I mean? He wasn't saying shit, but Jamie was just, this pawn. And plus, Jamie was like, he didn't pull the trigger. He was just an accessory. But, he was just so easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
He was manipulated by the fucking blue balls that Janelle constantly kept him in.
Yeah.
And he was probably scared of Buddy and Barbara, Jamie was questioned by detectives, and after a few lies, he folded like a fucking cheap beach chair.
Ugh.
So they told him that he had failed his lie detector test, which
did he even take one? Yeah,
they don't matter. But he was just, he fell for it.
Yeah.
So they set up a recorded line, and he called Buddy, asking him if he had gotten rid of the evidence from the Payne residence.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, this is probably very easy to solve.
Oh, yeah. To which Buddy responded with, The police had enough at this point, by him saying, about getting rid of the thing.
Yeah.
It places him at the crime scene, right?
Yeah.
So they went to arrest Buddy and search the house. In the house, they found pictures of Billy Jean, and the rest of the group. Like, there were other people involved, and I would recommend checking out those books. This is an insane story. Like, I am literally glossing over the details of it. This was so...
Yeah, you have me, wrapped with attention.
Yes, it's such... It reads like a fucking movie. Like, you really gotta listen to the books. Anyway, when James Patterson does a story about it, it's got to be fucking interesting, right? Janelle had printed these pictures from the internet and had written bad things on them, like whore, pig,
Jesus
stuff like that. In Buddy's truck, they found bullet casings and shredded emails. So all the evidence they needed. And as a matter of fact, the bullet casings that they found, some of the bullets that they found had been carved. Like...
Oh, shit.
Fucking Buddy sat in his easy chair recliner and etched these fucking bullets by hand.
That is, you're far gone.
Oh.
You're, gone. You're on another planet.
He was probably, writing their names on these bullets.
Yeah.
Like, some fucking psycho. And here's another little detail of how fucking far gone he was. When he picked up Jamie... in his truck that morning to do the deed, he fucking had a toothpick in his mouth. Like...
What do you mean?
Like, commando kind of thing.
The Maverick or something?
Yeah, he was, chewing on a toothpick, and he was wearing a camouflage hat.
Oh, he was in it.
He was just, he was in character.
Okay. That's
Isn't that,
that's a lot.
You know?
Yeah.
Ugh. In the end... Buddy was fucking convicted of first-degree murder and handed 2 life sentences for the murder of Billy and Billie Jean. Jamie was given 25 years with the possibility of parole for helping the investigation.
Yeah.
Barbara was charged with conspiracy to commit murder for egging her husband and facilitating the whole Buddy-Jamie murder duo. She was given 2 life sentences for that. She was, charged with first-degree murder.
Yeah.
2 counts of first-degree murder. And Janelle was given 2 counts of first-degree murder as well for posing as Chris, manipulating the whole situation that ultimately led to murder. And they were both sentenced to 2 life sentences.
Fuck.
Yeah. So there was another separate... charge, another separate case, another separate trial for the mom, for Barbara, Jamie, and Janelle. This separate trial focused on their part in it.
Their complicity in the situation.
Because of all the people involved in this whole conspiracy, Buddy was the least involved. I mean, he was the trigger man and everything, but he really was just manipulated to the point by Barbara and Janelle and everything. They were both manipulated by these two women. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the prosecuting attorney said to the jury, which I was like, oh my God, that was so convincing. He said, close your eyes for a minute and try to imagine, had these two women not been egging this situation on, had they not been involved at all, would these two be dead?
Right.
Because
would they ever have shot them? No.
No, because one, Buddy was fucking computer illiterate. He wouldn't even known them. Yeah. Right? And Jamie, that was their cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So had it not been for the Barbara Janelle component, they would have still been alive.
Right.
There would have been no reason to ever cross paths, right?
Well, how Barbara was like as complicit as
complicit. She was just like, when Chris, the CIA agent, started contacting her, she was here for it. But she wanted to even kill the baby.
Did she? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So she didn't...
Oh, wait a minute. She also wanted Chris, the CIA agent, to be the trigger man to kill her oldest daughter, Chrissy.
Oh, fuck.
And she was like, I don't care what you do with the bodies of the others, but make sure that Chrissy can be found because we have an insurance policy on her and we'd like to collect on it.
Oh, shit.
A mother said that about her daughter.
So she believed that it was a CIA agent.
She absolutely believed it, yes.
So that makes me feel like she's a little less guilty as Janelle.
Well, yeah, Janelle was the fucking puppet
the ringleader
master
of the whole thing. Yeah,
she was fucking pulling all the strings.
Not that I think she's not guilty, you know what I'm saying? Right. But like, you know, she still believed that she was like talking to a CIA agent and all this shit was happening. Like maybe there's still a part in all of them besides Janelle that really believed they were protecting their daughter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But yes, they believed that they were protecting Janelle, but they also wanted to kill people that had nothing to do with her and Janelle.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like, what does Chrissy have to play in all this? You know,
what did she have to play in it?
Right. She didn't. They just wanted her, hey.
She was not involved in it whatsoever?
No. They were like, Barbara was just like, hey, while you're at it, why don't you, get us some insurance money for our daughter?
Girl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, can you imagine the amount of therapy you would have to, like, your mom took
Is there any, like, information on her? Like,
yeah, she was a graphic artist, and she got away from her family. She came and testified at the trial against them. Yeah, she was here for it, and she was just like, the prosecuting attorney was like, normally I wouldn't have family members, testify against each other. But after speaking with Christy, she made me understand that she had gotten years of therapy. Yeah. And she wanted to. She wanted to. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, she knew that her parents were terribly mentally ill. Yeah. And that part of Janelle's break with reality was them having a thumb, controlling her every move. Yeah. She had no opportunity to have independence. Yeah. She was a bored young lady who just invented these, scenarios for attention. Yeah. And, and it was, she said, Dad was a normal guy until Mom wore him down to the point where he just didn't even have his own thoughts. Wow. So, yeah.
How is she now?
I'm not sure how she is now, but Janelle's, in jail.
They're all in jail.
They're all in jail, the whole family. And here's the funny thing, like, her attorney...
God, that's so sad for her.
The attorney defending Janelle also defended her mom and the dad. Okay. And there was, like, a huge conflict of interest there.
Yeah, right.
And also, like...
Unless they were being tried all together or whatever.
No, they weren't.
Well, I guess maybe even
still.
Yeah,
no. Barbara and Janelle were tried together, but the dad was tried separately 2 years earlier, I believe. Wow. He was the attorney for those two, right? There was a fucking huge conflict of interest because his daughter became executor of their estate.
Chrissy did. Oh, no, the lawyers.
No, the lawyer's daughter. Okay. Right?
Why?
So... they were like, bro, first of all, you can't defend all 3 family members.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And second of all, your daughter being the executor of these people's estate.
Why? That's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was questionable. It was questionable. And there was like a whole thing about it because they felt like they weren't... they didn't get a fair trial because of it, and it was just like it was another excuse to like have them
have an appeal.
Yeah. But I mean, any way you skin that cat, she manipulated that situation.
Yeah.
They even the prosecutor even hired a specialist because they had all these like emails and stuff, and they wanted to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that it was Janelle posing as Chris, right?
Right, yeah.
And so Janelle had a lot of like spelling patterns and stuff that
That kind of shit fascinates me.
yeah, so there was a specialist that specializes in that, got paid so much money.
Yeah,
but
I bet.
The trial did come up with it. So then here was a fucking awesome thing, my God. At the trial, the defense attorneys were like, they brought in a fucking guest witness, like a special fucking secret witness.
Okay.
They were like asking the investigators, the prosecuting attorney was like, you know, was there in fact a Chris? You know, did Chris ever exist? And they were like, yeah, Chris was a real person. And they were like, did you call the CIA to make sure that he wasn't a CIA agent? And they were like, no, he wasn't a CIA agent, but he definitely was real. And so they brought fucking Chris in.
Who is he?
It was a guy that Janelle had a crush on in high school. But he was like a popular guy. So he was like a police officer now. And she found him randomly on the internet. And he was like, yeah, I know Janelle because we went to high school together. But she was like a weird kid and I was a popular kid. And I would have never looked twice at her. But she friend requested me sometimes. So she had stolen all his pictures and stuff like that off of his Facebook.
Oh,
and
my God.
was posing as him.
Wow.
And he was like, I don't know why she would choose me, but
wow.
yes. And he was the surprise witness, and everybody was like, oh,
shit.
Yes, yeah.
So they are all in jail.
Yeah, they're all in jail. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Jamie.
Yeah, he just
Not that like he's innocent in all of this, but like I do feel bad for him.
But he was just not a smart guy. He wasn't, you know.
What about Tracy?
Well, Tracy, you know, she fucking.
That's sad.
Yeah, she tried to do the right thing and befriend this like lonely girl. She thought she was doing her a favor,
And
it
people
turns
from their
out
hometown
fucking,
are like, this is why no one talks to them.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's tough.
It was really tough because, like, this is like a small hometown. These people were loved, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
For such a stupid thing.
For nothing,
just because she got unfriended on Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
Or a guy that never was interested in you.
He just wasn't interested in her.
Yeah.
You know? And the fact of the matter is that I feel like if Barbara and this is the sentiment of the prosecuting attorney who, in his book, Too Pretty to Live, he says, had Barbara and Buddy allowed Janelle to date Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie was the type of person that would have given the care that Janelle needed. You know what I mean? Not just the attention, but the care. Because he was used to taking care of sick people. And Janelle wouldn't have been independent. You know, she was disabled enough to need somebody to care for her.
Sure.
She wasn't able to work or drive or anything. She had type 1 diabetes and a lot of health issues.
Yeah.
So he would have been there for her. He could have done that for her and provided her with all the attention that she needed. And, you know, he would have fit right in where her parents couldn't once they passed, you know?
But the thing is, she was secretly getting that from him anyway.
She was, but if they would have been allowed to be more open with their relationship, I think she wouldn't have obsessed as much about Billy.
Yeah, maybe.
Because she would have had her own thing, you know what I mean?
They could have maybe lived together.
Yeah, you know, like they could have blossomed that relationship.
Yeah.
But they were so overbearing that she couldn't do anything. She couldn't have friends. She couldn't do anything. You know what I mean?
I don't know why this fascinates me so much. Are the mom and daughter in jail together?
I don't even know.
You know what I
my
mean? What a fucking
God.
nightmare that must be.
But I mean, she must be having a good old time because during the trial, she was coming into the courtroom in a wheelchair. The mom was coming into the courtroom in a wheelchair, but like people that knew how she was doing in jail, they were like, okay, prior to the court case and being wheeled into the courtroom, she was playing a pickup basketball game at the jail. Yeah. So she's like fucking living her best life. Almost anytime
someone like is wheeled into the courtroom, I'm like, oh, fuck off. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Basically. Like that lady that gets hit upside the head with the folder and she like throws herself to the ground. It's like literally me every time I trip at work.
Congress?
I'm like,
yes.
I'm just like waiting for the day that I like fall at work so I can never have to go back.
I've fallen at work and like played it off and I'm like, I'm stupid.
So stupid.
I'll be like seriously injured and I'll like fake it like I'm okay just to spare myself the embarrassment.
Would not be, I'd be like, 911, oh God, help me.
You think you
help
would.
me.
You think you would, but you probably won't.
I totally stared at a spot of water, of soapy water in the middle of the hallway.
Throw myself in it.
And I was like, could I do it? Can I do this?
Could do it.
See, idiots. Now it's on record.
Yeah, I gotta delete this.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Also, no, I wouldn't. I don't like pain.
I love it.
So 2 people died.
Yeah, that sucks.
Left a baby orphaned.
That poor little guy.
All for nothing. All for fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's like always for nothing.
So
it's
much
always
of it is for
nothing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really fucking sad.
Yeah. Sorry to hit you with it.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. So that's it for us. We'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you can subscribe so you don't miss out. If you want to support us. That's only if you want to support us.
Uh-huh.
If you have a heart in your chest,
if it's beating blood.
Yes. If it's beating blood to your other organs and hopefully to your brain, here's a thing that you could do for us. You could share this or review on iTunes. Share this with a friend or 2. Preferably 2.
At least.
Yeah. Because that's like compounding interest,
right?
Isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can do that. You can buy our merch. We have merch. We have a Patreon where we do more stories and such. Or you can do a buy me a coffee because that's honestly less of a commitment.
Yeah.
So if you have commitment issues, you can just do a one-time.
Yeah, we know some of you got issues.
Yeah, buy me a coffee.
Real issues.
Right. But the best way to help us is to write that review and share.
Yeah.
You can connect with us on all of the social media accounts, even Facebook.
Yeah.
Not Topics, though.
Not Topics.
No,
we're not there.
Topics was closed down. Yeah. So check you out next week. And remember, do not get taken to the second location. Be good or be good at hiding a body. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Are you okay? This is fucking loud. You're disgusting and I hate you both. Oh god, I'm crying. Oh my god, and holding my peak and I almost fucking beat myself.